Okay, so into the installation lap go the 1995 touring cars for the final race of the season here at Donington Park. The season finale, this is the last 10 lap thrash of the season. The installation lap just getting underway and joined in the box by Jordan Fleming this afternoon here at Donington for the last round of the series.
Hi Ben, great to be along. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, then so the grid line as follows then. So on pole position is John Smith in the number 8 Peugeot. Behind him is going to be the number 4 Vauxhall Ben Singleton, followed by Steph Bovey in the number 12 Toyota. Actually looking at the number on the car now, not 72. Then we've got the 18 of Peugeot, that's the Jordan Fleming machine. Then we've got someone in the pit lane there, that's Scott Kinton in his number 14 Vauxhall, so that car's always making a pit lane start. There's number 3 of Aaron McGrath, the Irishman in the Mondeo, the first of 2 Mondeos. Then we've got the number 11 Toyota Carina being driven by, who's that? So that's Kevin van den Bosch. And then at the back of the grid we have the 33 Ford Mondeo of Owen Potter. This is a reverse grid of qualifying you saw earlier on in the afternoon, the first session of the day for the touring cars, and obviously this is a reverse grid of that session with the slowest car from qualifying off the front of the grid. So the faster cars, a bit like stock car racing, have to make their way through from the back. The cars are just coming through Goddard's chicane, a little bit too aggressively there possibly from the Peugeot, but the rest of the cars will form upon the grid on the Wheatcroft straight.
Just a wee bit too fast into the last corner there, just ease off. It's only the warm-up lap, so they're going up to the grid, get into their slots, ready to go.
So the cars now fall into line then, so it's Peugeot and Vauxhall in the front row. The Vauxhalls have already wrapped up the Manufacturers' Championship. The teams, the driver's standing is still wide open, still 3 cars in contention with it going into this race, so Imposter leads the standings. So we have 7 touring cars on the grid, 1 car from the pit lane, that's Scott Kinton, who's not made the start. The lights will go on the gantry, and they are away, so the green lights are on and we're racing with the final time this season for the touring cars then, so 10 lap thrash to the line as they head into turn 1 then, so Smith has the early lead, 3 wide behind. The cars are really getting themselves most 3 in there now. A good move from the inside from the Toyota Carina there. That was a great move from Steph Bovey to go through in second place in the very early stage of the race, and they go down Craner curves for the first time.
As you can see, all the cars bunched together over the grass as well, and the inside they're taking a wee bit of a risk, so we'll see how that goes. Comes back out the last car at the back there trailing along. Who is it? That's the Valvoline Mondeo up the inside of the Cavalier there. Oh, 3 wide again. Look at that, Ben. Look at that.
Yep, the Carina certainly using all the track and a bit more there. One round the outside, a great move from, I think it was Kevin van der Bosch, around the outside of 2 cars as they head into Coppice. And somebody's going to have some problems here, you can almost see it. In fact, no, they don't, they've all got round. We still haven't seen the Vauxhall of Scott Kinton leave the pit lane yet, so whether that car is actually going to race, a different question. They head their way down the exhibition straight back to Goddard's chicane for the first time. 3 wide look again in the middle of the pack.
Oh, brilliant move. Brilliant. The Valvoline Mondeo's coming up fast, catching the front boys now, so a wee bit sideways there, but he's caught it, so on the way down the straight now into the first corner. We'll see how they'll go through that.
Yeah, so Imposter there getting a bit of a assistance from John Smith, who clearly didn't think he was going fast enough out of the final corner there. But it is at the moment. It's still Peugeot at the front, with Jordan Fleming at the wheel. They've got the 2 Toyota Carinas looming large in his mirrors as they go down Craner. The Valvoline Mondeo is still there in the... Oh, he was there in 5th, but he's gone off the track and goes spinning off into the gravel trap at the old hairpin.
Oh, he's kept it going, so at least he's landed the right way so he can get back going.
At least, unlike real life, they didn't go pole vaulting over the barrier at the old hairpin, but plenty of action already. The top 2 have now broken clear now. It's between Fleming and I believe that was Van den Bosch at the front. And got one off in the background.
Don't know who that was, whether it was Potter or McGrath, one of the 2
It was
Valvoline.
McGrath number 3. So all the cars...
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, we've got a battle on for the lead. Here's the Carina coming through on the inside. That's Van den Bosch looking for the lead on the inside of Fleming, and he's got him through Goddard's. They go left, then they go right, and then back to the Wheatcroft straight to complete what I believe is lap number 2.
Kevin's been quick all season. He's the man to beat in this category. For coming from the back of the grid all the way through to the front, it's going to be hard to keep with him.
Yeah, indeed. So Kevin, like I say, very, very quick driver in anything he goes into, to be honest. He's just one of those drivers that have the natural grasp for a car on a video game as they motor their way down the craners, and the field has started to spread out a bit more now, which is what we came to expect really from a slightly smaller entry of cars. And I say that, and we've got one of the Carinas running wide of the old hairpin.
Sideways through the old hairpin. I've seen that a few times already this race, but kept it going the right way, and he's off again.
Lead battle has closed it once again now. See, the Peugeot is still challenging the back of the Carina for the lead. These two are not finishing as they go through the blind corner at Coppice.
I think Kevin made a small mistake at the old hairpin that lap. I think he got a little bit at the back end on the grass, and that's what slowed him up and allowed Fleming to catch him a little bit more.
The Carina actually using a very tight inside line they're going to go. He now comes back onto the traditional racing line. That could have been dear if that had gone wrong. They clatter their way over the curbs, as has been the case all afternoon in the touring cars, particularly in qualifying. A lot of cars have been very brave with the rumble strips. Aaron McGrath, number 3, is now trying to challenge on the back of the... who's that? That's the other Carina, Steph Bovey, I believe, in car number 12. And he goes off.
He's going good to keep up. He's slowly but surely keeping with the front guys. And the Mondeo's catching ever so slightly every lap. You can see him just closing the gap. He's got a good line down through the craners that keeps the speed up, and then trying to get a wee cut to the inside to come across. But as you can see, the Toyota just pulling away that little bit out of the corner with better corner speed there.
I say Steph Bovey in the Toyota, this is his first meeting of the season. He missed the first part of the season. He's missed the first few rounds of the year. And Aaron McGrath, of course, out in his 4th appearance of the year after he missed the 2 races at Mallory Park. I think there was something wrong with an autograss car that meant he couldn't race that meeting, but he's certainly come back with vengeance today. That sort of cost him some time in the championship. Also didn't do Mondeo particularly well after Owen Potter binned his car not once but twice over the course of the afternoon at Mallory. But Mallory, of course, known as a car killing circuit. Just a shame that not many more series go to Mallory these days. But the leaders are still running pretty much line astern here, using the pit lane exit as a bit more track there. That's a tactic that a few drivers obviously haven't picked up on yet. And the Peugeot looked a bit slow there going through the corner at Redgate. And yes, the Carinas the inside, they're going to Carina curves. Can he get the move done going down the hill? Yes.
As you see, Kevin must have made a small mistake when the Peugeot got back in front there for the last part of the lap, and then Kevin, being as quick as he is, gets a better run out the corner, back up the inside, and then, as you can see, it's nose to tail with these two.
Yep, and now the Peugeot is looking to come back into Schwantzcleuve. Can he get the move done at McLean's? No, the door is shut firmly in his face at McLean's. That's not going to happen. Are they going to make anything stick on the run up to Coppice? The Mondeo going off the track, and he's been followed off by Steph Bovey in the other of the Toyotas, and nearly goes spinning again, does Aaron McGrath. He's having a bit of an unsettled race and a bit of an unsettled rear end on that car this afternoon, it turns out.
Yeah, you can see the guys in front of him pulling away, so he's trying harder and harder and later on the brakes every time, but it just needs to keep the head a little, keep focused and catch the guys in front, and he'll get them.
I think we've got the Vauxhall running in anger at the moment as the Mondeo nearly goes round again. There's something not right with that car in the setup department, I'll say that much. But we saw in the background there on the Exhibition Straight, in fact you can see it again on the Wheatcroft Straight, the Mondeo is running in anger. The headlights are ablaze, which normally means they're on a charge to the front.
That'll probably be Potter. He's looking to try and get to second in the championship here, but he's got Fleming to deal with, who's in second at the moment. So if he can keep that space and keep Potter behind him, then I think that's second he takes in the championship. So Potter will be out to try and catch him.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much decided that Kevin van der Bosch will be champion with his results this year. He's hardly put a foot wrong this season, apart from, I think, a bit of a fumbled race at Mondello Park over in Ireland at one point. That's the only international round the touring cars have had this season. Despite me pining for a date at Zandvoort, we never got one, but that's by the books, really, as they make their way back to Exhibition Straight. We'll look a bit further down the grid to see if anything interesting is happening further back. And there may be something happening shortly, with Steph Bovey now being caught by the second of the two Mondeos. That's still Owen Potter charging hard for what I believe is 4th place.
You can see behind him is that the other Vauxhall there, Cavalier, charging as well with the lights on, so he'll be trying to catch up with Potter, maybe try and follow him if he can get close enough, but Potter will be looking to try and get through, maybe try and move up the inside here on the Toyota. We'll see if he's got enough speed, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. No, he's not close enough this time round, so we'll see how he gets a run out of the corner down the Craner curves.
Now, as we said, that was not a brilliant run out the corner for the Mondeo there. It just washed out and went onto the rumble strip out of Redgate there, which affected his run down Hollywood. He's going to go for a dive with the old hairpin.
Great move, up the inside, clean as you like, no problem, straight past and away. So he'll be looking to charge after the guys. His teammate now it is, he's going to get after, so we'll see if he can get the head down and catch up.
Yeah, that was a very, very good move down the old hairpin, like you say. And spin off in the background, round goes the Carina. Bit too much back brake around McLean's, and around it goes. And that could leave him open to the Vauxhall. Ben Simpson's had a fairly quiet race up till this point.
He's catching him now, though. He's seen that mistake and he smells the blood, so he's going to try and get to the back of him now and see if he could hang in and get past him. He's got a good run coming out of the corner there at McLean's. Is that McLean's the next one? So
that was Coppice heading up to Goddard's now.
Coming out of the straight, so under the big bridge. He is closer now, though, so we'll give him this next maybe half a lap and see how close he is. I'm sure he'll be right up the back.
Yeah, and the other thing as well to consider, Scott Kinsey's catching the other of the two Vauxhalls. Like I say, Vauxhall have pretty much wrapped up the Manufacturers' Championship following the first race of the day. Despite finishing as the second to last two cars on circuit, they did indeed wrap it up there and then.
A great run this year for the Vauxhalls. They've done really well. Quick cars, good setups, and two good drivers.
Yeah, obviously one car we haven't seen feature for a very long time at this moment is the other of the Peugeots, that is John Smith. He's disappeared somewhere. Like I say, he had a decent running race one until one of the Vauxhalls decided he was going for a spin coming out of Coppice and he got collected by about half the field. So that car did make its way back out for race two, although I think it was a bit battered and bruised afterwards. And the Toyota runs wide again. The Marshalls down at McLean's, they're going to have a lot of grass to put back in place after this race anyway, I'll say that much.
John Smith's had a great run this year. He's new to the series. This is his first year in the series, and to do what he's done and get the results he has, he's done really well against some really top-class competition.
Yeah, but now back to the lead battle. It's still between the Carina and the Peugeot. The Carinas and the Peugeots have been, funnily enough, some very competitive cars this season. Obviously, the reason that Toyota aren't within a shout for the Manufacturers' Championship is because this is the first round they've had more than one car. They've had just Kevin van den Bosch for the whole season so far. He did very, very well at the opening round in Brands Hatch, has continued that pace on across all the rounds so far this season. And this is the first time we've been able to see what the Toyota team can do with a double bill of cars. So maybe if they had Steph Berry from day one, they might have had a chance at winning this championship. Obviously, the Independent Championship we can confirm to has been won by Thames Ford Motors, with Danny Rosterville doing just one round at Brands Hatch and scoring 3 points, and incidentally he was the only independent to race this season, hence he's won it by default. Probably the smallest amount of points to win a championship in history, but I'm sure that probably won't be how they see it. The Mondeo is now catching for the race lead.
Catching up with the Peugeot there, but I think Fleming's maybe looked behind and seen that it's either Potter or McGrath. If he knows it's not Potter, then maybe it's not pushed so hard and let Kevin just go for the win. But if he stays in second, third place, and as long as he stays in front of Potter, then that'll be second in the championship. But Potter's put up some fight and it's been really quick this year, hard to beat. So it's just everybody at the front as they go. Brilliant racing.
Yeah, and McGrath has just gone through for second, so that is now the lesser important of the two Mondeos in Fleming's mind now to second. That doesn't really concern him very much. Like you say, just needs to keep Potter behind him to secure his position in the championship standings. Like I say, Van den Bosch still the leader of the championship after the 9 rounds we've had so far. This is the final chapter, really. This is just basically establishing what we already knew this race, that Van den Bosch would be on top and everybody else would have to follow in his footsteps.
Potter in the background pushing and pushing, running a wee bit wide on the corner there. You could see Fleming in the Peugeot and he's thinking, right, I need to get him, and he's pushing and pushing, so he's catching. He'll be with him maybe in the next few corners if he keeps this pace.
Certainly, as they cluster over the curbs once again at Goddard's. A lot of people liking that line at Goddard's this weekend. which is hardly surprising, really, as it's touring cars. We've got a slow mover at Coppice, when the Vauxhalls have come to a complete dead stop there.
Yeah, going again now.
He has indeed got going again. Well, that's an unusual one. It's now been caught by... Well, that was Scott Kingston who went around. He's now been caught by his teammate, who's obviously gone off somewhere, because that car was not too far adrift of the lead battle for a bit.
There's been a little situation with the Vauxhalls there. Something maybe happened, so...
And I think that might have actually been the end of the race, to be honest. I think we did see Van den Bosch take the win there. That was caught me off guard a bit, because I didn't realise 10 laps had gone that quickly.
Too busy watching some great racing from the guys this year.
Yeah.
As I say, thanks a lot for inviting me along to this, Ben. It's great to watch, and it's great to see some good racing in this.
Yep, and we'll just get a quick rundown of the result while we have it. Well, I have it in front of me anyway. So your race winner was Kevin Van den Bosch in the Toyota. I'll ditch the numbers for this, but Aaron McGrath was second in the Mondeo. Third was Jordan Fleming, I think, establishing his second in the championship in the Toyota, followed by Owen Potter in the Ford. Then we had 5th place of Scott Kingston in the Vauxhall. 6th place was Ben Sutton in the second of the 2 Vauxhalls. And then what we didn't see was 2 retirements in that race. Steph Bovey retired the Toyota with just 1 lap to go, and John Smith retired his car, the other of the 2 Peugeots, at around halfway on lap number 5. So that's happened to those 2 cars. That's why they didn't really feature after a certain point, because they weren't there to feature in the race. But so that was as far as the championship is concerned. The drivers' champion is Kevin Van den Bosch, the manufacturers' champion is Vauxhall, and the independent champion is Thames Ford. But that's as far as the touring cars go. They'll be back on what I believe is going to be July... I think it's July 15th is their next round, 7 o'clock, back here at Donington on the Grand Prix. That's the Melbourne Loop will be utilised in that with the more modern 2011 touring cars. And at the time of speaking, I think we have about 7 of them booked in, ready to go. But on behalf of us here at VCRL, thanks very much for watching this afternoon, and hopefully more will come in the future. Thank you very much, Jordan, as well, for coming, and any last words from you?
No, just thanks for inviting me, Ben. It's been a great season to race in, and also to be invited along to the commentary. It's a privilege to be alongside yourself. It's a good effort that's being made. There's not many people doing it, so well done, Ben. Kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, and well, hopefully I'll now tab off the game and hope that OBS did resave that whole recording. Otherwise, I'm going to be jumping up and down in a minute. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.